What it looks like they found their man. Luigi Maggioni, the smiley face killer of the United Healthcare CEO in front of a New York Hilton, has been found and captured. We'll touch on that and more. You're watching BS3 Presents the Morning Shift with Cole Johnson on Roku TV via BS3, BS3TVLive.com, and the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel. You are listening to us live right now on Real Wise Radio, and it starts right now. Well, how are you doing, everybody? Welcome to the December 10th, 2014 edition of BS3 Presents the Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. I am Cole Johnson, and for the next 60 minutes, sit back, kick back, and relax as we get and keep you informed, enlightened, engaged, entertained, and spiritually fed. Now, along with the cover story that you just saw, the smiley face, baby face killer of the UnitedHealthcare CEO, Luigi Maggioni, we will touch on Jay-Z. Yes, in Program Spotlight, we'll touch on him defiantly saying that he will not pay a dime, red, blue, or whatever color, to the accuser of a 13-year-old girl that alleged was sexually assaulted by Jigga Man. And in lighting the way, we're going to touch on gloating. Yeah, I know it sounds strange that we're having a spiritual conversation about gloating. But yes, you would think that the Bible wouldn't touch on this, but it is. We'll touch on gloating and all those other things in every other manner. That's all for later. But for now, let's start you up, shall we? All right, and here's what's going on in the world today. A police officer was killed in the line of duty after being shot during a traffic stop, according to his department. Terra Police Department officer Jacob Cardonosa, He died on Monday from injuries he sustained during a traffic stop that occurred roughly around 11 p.m. on Sunday night. That's according to a news release shared by the department's Facebook page. Cardonosa requested additional units for assistance during the stop, but within minutes, unfortunately, the department received 2 911 calls about an officer being shot. A radio transmission from citizen gave police the same information, according to the release. Princess Kate made a rare comment about her, quote, challenging, close quote, year at a Christmas concert in the UK this past Friday. She said, quote, I didn't know this year was going to be the year that I've just had. And she told this to the Paloma Faith. That's one of the stars set to perform at a concert there, in a video posted to X by Channel 5 News. Now, the 42-year-old revered in March that she had been diagnosed with cancer, and she was undergoing a course of preventative chemotherapy after having a major abdominal surgery. Now, while her treatment ended in September, the princess revealed in a video posted to X at the time, quote, my path to healing and full recovery is long, and I must continue to take each day as it comes, close quote. Jay-Z, well, of course, we all know that he is affiliated with the NFL. The commissioner of said league, Roger Goodell, he addressed sexual assault allegations that was brought against the rapper who, of course, Rock Nation, the company that Jay-Z owns, produces Super Bowl halftime shows. Goodell said the This past Wednesday in the league partnership with the rapper and Rock Nation, they aren't, quote, changing, close quote, days after Jay-Z was accused of sexually assaulting a teenage girl alongside Sean Puff, Daddy Diddy, whatever you want to call him with his nicknames, Combs, in 2000. He said, quote, "We're aware of the civil allegations and Jay-Z's really strong response to that. We know that obviously litigation is happening now. But from our standpoint, our relationship is not changing with them, including our preparation for the next Super Bowl." Close quote. We'll talk about Jay-Z's situation later in the program. Well, the richest woman performing today. Well, she drew a lot of money from her Eras tour. How about the tune of $2 billion? That's right. Official numbers from Taylor Swift's production company, Taylor Swift Touring, shows that the singer has more than doubled the gross ticket sales record. This is according to a person familiar with the situation, but unauthorized to speak publicly. Now, Swift's historic and heart-pounding show accumulated over $2 billion, according to reporting Monday by the New York Times and a Monday report from the Financial Times. The astronomical number fully eclipsed Coldplay's $1 billion record for their Spheres World Tour, according to Billboard magazine. Now, Swift has danced her way across 5 continents, filling the seats with over 10 million bedazzled fans dressed in her 11 eras. The largest one-night stadium attendance occurred in Melbourne on February 16th, with 96,000 concert goers, while Wembley Stadium amassed 753 plus thousand over an 8-night span, according to the Times. A zoo employee is dead after being fatally attacked by a tiger while he was cleaning the animal's cage. Now, this is officials in Romania reporting this. City officials posted on social media that the attack took place in the morning hours of Monday in the city of Piesti. It's a city in south-central Romania. Preliminary investigation by police revealed that a 52-year-old victim, employee of the Pitetsi Zoo, entered the tiger's cage without complying with safety protocol and was fatally attacked, according to the release. I guess you suckers are going to have to understand. When a tiger goes tiger, feel that pain and leave. I digress. Multiple college students in Colorado were taken to a hospital overnight after overdosing at a fraternity house due to a, quote, possibly tainted batch of cocaine, close quote. Boulder police are investigating the overdoses after officers responded to the Kappa Sigma fraternity house between 10 and 10:30 p.m. Let me do this. Midnight and 12:30 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday, Sunday morning, according to the department's news release. Preliminary information indicates that at least 6 men were taken to a hospital and treated by medical personnel. Police also said that one of the men's, quote, prognosis was initially grave, close quote, but he and the others are now in stable condition, according to release. Further investigation determined that the sick individuals had consumed alcohol with the alleged tainted cocaine while at a party. Police also said that they are investigating whether the overdoses were related to pledging at the fraternity. The department said in the release, quote, the Boulder Police Department would like to remind the community about the dangers of illegal drug and alcohol consumption, close quote. How about this? Don't do it! Lord have mercy. Anywhere. The incoming head of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Republican Senator Chuck Grassley, blasted FBI Director Christopher Wray on Monday in what he called, quote, fail, close quote, leadership of the law enforcement agency, and said that it was time for Wray to leave. In a letter to Wray that repeated many of the President-elect Donald Trump's complaints about the FBI, the Iowa Republican senator criticized the FBI in search of Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago, which recovered missing classified documents and led to federal charges against the former president and now president-elect as, quote, invasive and unwarranted, close quote. Grassley also faulted the FBI investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election for targeting Trump after not similarly scrutinizing former Secretary of State / First Lady Hillary Clinton, and for failing to provide information, more of it, about alleged sexual misconduct at the agency. Grassley wrote in the 11-page letter, quote, "These failures are serious enough and their pattern widespread enough to have shattered my confidence in your leadership and the confidence and hope many others in Congress placed in you." Close quote. Oh boy. In sports, Lord, Charlie, you're gonna have to take over for this, man, because this is too funny. The still to this day is too funny. The Bengals beat the Cowboys this past Monday night, 27-20. And what made it even worse, you had a blocked punt within 2 minutes to go in the game. And the punt took place roughly at around the Bengals, 15, 16-yard line. And, oh, Lord, Amani Oruwariye decided to touch the ball, make it a muff punt, and then the Bengals just moved down the field. Well, both teams are 5-8. And, well, Cowboy fan, I'm sorry. It's not for you this season. We ain't going to be seeing this. In fact, you all been very quiet as of late.
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
And I fully understand why. And that will start you up. Coming up later, we'll touch on the UnitedHealthcare CEO killer and how he was found, where he was found, and what they're going to do next. That is our cover story. And in Lighting the Way, gloating. Now, you would think, of all things that God would talk about, gloating? Really? Yes. We'll touch on that later. But coming up next, Jay-Z. Looking like Basquiat in this picture, he is defiantly saying, no one's getting a dime of my money. Well, we'll touch further on that. You're watching BS3 Presents the Morning Shift with Cole Johnson on Roku TV via BS3, BS3TVLive.com, and the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel. You're also listening to it on Real Wise Radio. And we shall return right after. Yes. Goodness gracious.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube and where you can find podcasts. This is a BS3 Network presentation.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central. Elite.
Welcome back to BS3 Persistent Morning Shift for Cole Johnson. Glad that you're here with me. And Shifter, you don't just have to watch. You can participate with this too. And you're going to ask the question, how do I? How can I find your wonderful show? Well, I'm glad you asked that. If you want to participate in the show, just go to the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel. That's the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel, where this broadcast emanates from here live. And you can comment within reason, of course, to your heart's content, because your voice matters. It always does. It has. It does now. It always will. So understand that. Understand that. Now, let's continue, shall we? So, Hova, Jigga, whatever you want to call him, Jay-Z, well, it looks like he is now fighting those battles, some similar type of battles that Diddy is starting to fight. And in today's program Spotlight, we'll touch on the utter defiance, and I do mean defiance, of an accuser who at 13 claimed that she was sexually assaulted by Jay-Z. Wow. My goodness. Well. Jay-Z is pushing for the woman who is accusing him of rape to be required to reveal her identity for her lawsuit against him to be dismissed. An attorney for Jay-Z, of course, we all know his name, Sean Carter. He made a request on Monday, only a day after an anonymous accuser alleged Jay-Z and Sean, whatever you want goes, Sean John, Puff Daddy Diddy, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever the nickname he loved, whatever the nickname he wants to go by today, Combs, drugged and raped her 24 years ago when she was 13. The filing said, quote, Mr. Carter should not have to defend himself in the brightest of spotlights against an accuser who hides in complete darkness. While leveling allegations that describe the purported acts occurring in the plain sight of witnesses who could refute the plaintiff's claims if only her identity was revealed. Close quote. It went on to say, quote, Mr. Carter deserves to know the identity of the person who is effectively accusing him in sensationalized publicity hunting fashion of criminal conduct, demanding massive financial compensation and tarnishing a reputation earned over decades. Close quote. Well, the music mogul's motion on Monday also alleged the rape's allegation is part of a, quote, campaign of extortion, close quote, carried out by Tony Busby, the attorney who filed Jane Doe's complaints. Now, an aside, you may know the name Tony Busby. Yeah, he is the one who brought forth 28 cases against former Texans, now current Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. In that case, the one and the same. This, quote, extortionate campaign, close quote, attempted to force the rapper to pay an, quote, exorbitant, close quote, amount of money. And when he refused to do so, the claims were brought in as a, quote, in a, quote, clear act of retaliation, close quote, he alleged. The filing also said, quote, "Make no mistake, this case is about retaliating against a rare target who would not pay," close quote. Now, Busby told USA Today in an email on Monday that he, quote, "can't and won't respond to every court filing," close quote, but added, quote, "sending a basic demand is not extortion or blackmail. Throwing those types of allegations around is irresponsible and silly," close quote. The amended complaint filed Sunday alleged that Carter and Combs sexually assaulted the anonymous woman at an after-party for the MTV Music Video Awards back in 2000. In a fiery statement issued on Sunday, Jay-Z strongly denied the allegations and accused Busby of attempting to blackmail him, saying, quote, "You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these type of games. We have very strict codes of honor," close quote. In the next post on Sunday, Busby said his firm sent Jay-Z's lawyer, quote, "a demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim," close quote, but that the woman, quote, "never demanded a penny from him," close quote, seeking only, quote, "a confidential mediation," close quote. It went on to say, quote, "Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but he has tried to bully and harass me." How dare he? How dare he do such a thing? And this plaintiff, his conduct has had the opposite impact. She is emboldened, and I'm very proud of her resolve. Close quote. Well, it looks like Jay isn't proud of that resolve. Oh my, that man. Well, all I have to say is keep on fighting, because this looks like this is not going to go away anytime soon, because you know your boy is under fire too. And that concludes today's program Spotlight. Coming up next, well, we now know who's the killer of the UnitedHealthcare CEO in New York, but they found him in another state. We'll touch on that next. You're watching BS3 Presents the Morning Shift with Cole Johnson, the Roku TV via BS3, BS3TVLive.com, and the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel. You're listening to it on Real Ice Radio. We'll return right after. Yes.
The moderator.
As woman, you can't be too friendly, because the minute you're friendly, then they think you're flirting.
The level head.
I think so that thing is over. So I'm not looking at men like that anymore.
The truth slayer.
Okay, what in the HPV yeast infection is going on over here?
The X Factor.
So I'd rather you tell me everything up front and let's start fresh.
The intersection of life and spirituality never sounded this good. BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street y'all done had problems, maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
The comeback is real. That will begin January 7th.
This is a BS3 Network presentation.
So, sit back, tune in, tell a friend. This Dope Cooking Show, we about to get started, and it's about to go down. Check me out.
Join your culinary master of ceremonies, Chef Jeff, as he introduces to you This Dope Cooking Show. Live every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central.
If you want to have an Inside the Actor Studio type of interview, I got the show for you. Join the James Lipton of the crew. That's why YSL Jefe and a guest of his choosing in Stuck in My Mind podcast that comes to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday live, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central on the Roku TV via BS3, BS3TVLive.com, and the Stuck in My Mind podcast YouTube channel. That is Stuck in My Mind podcast live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central on Roku TV. Just hit the BS3 logo on Roku TV app, BS3TVLive.com, and the Stuck in My Mind podcast YouTube channel. Oh, and another programming note. You've seen the commercial when it comes on live. Well, the TFT show has now come to the BS3 network. That's right. Total Football Talk. If you want to have all football talk just the way you like it, Caster Television replay every Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central on Roku TV via BS3, the Saratoga Media YouTube channel, and the Comey Media Incorporated YouTube channel. That is Total Football Talk. The television replay comes to you every Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central on Roku TV. Just at the BS3 logo on the Roku TV app, BS3TVLive.com, the Saratoga Media YouTube channel, and the Comey Media Incorporated YouTube channel. Well, welcome back to BS3 Presents the Morning Shift for Cole Johnson. Well, you see the lower third. That's who I am. And Shifter, we love you. We want you to be a part of this program, and I hope that you understand that you are the lifeblood of this show. And if you don't, we will always extend the red carpet for you to do so and to be that. Whatever you want, that's what this show represents. Now, let's continue. Now, we all have seen the manhunt that took place after the early December killing of one Brian Thompson, the UnitedHealthcare CEO. Well, the person of interest was discovered. He was identified. Now he has been arrested. Well, now what will be of this going forward? Well, that's what we're going to unearth and uncover and talk about in today's cover story. A person of interest was detained Monday in Pennsylvania in connection with the fatal shooting of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a Manhattan street last week. Wow. New York City Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, she said on Monday that the person identified as Luigi Mangione, he was held in central Pennsylvania's town of Altoona. Wow. On firearms charges. Now, Tisch also said that a gun, a silencer, a mask, and a fake identification card found on Mangione were, quote, consistent, close quote, with items believed to be used by Thompson's killer. Yeah, boy. Just when you think. She said, quote, we have a strong person of interest in the shooting that took place and shook our city. It was crucial that we were able to remove him off the streets of America, close quote. Sorry, the Aforementioned quote came from the New York City mayor, Eric Adams. Handwritten papers found on Mangione, quote, speak to his motivation and mindset, close quote, and that is said by Commissioner Tisch. Chief of Detectives Joseph Kinney, he said that the 3-page document included no other targets but expressed, quote, ill will toward corporate America, close quote. Mangione had a ghost gun, which can be assembled at home and be difficult to trace, Kinney said. The gun may have been made on a 3D printer and was capable of firing off a 9mm round, according to Kinney. The breakthrough came on the 6th day of a massive search involving the NYPD, the FBI, and other agencies. Authorities uncovered numerous videos and photos of the person of interest, from which they developed a precise timeline for his escape from the shooting, scene, and flight from the city. The man identified on Monday was based on a tip after he was recognized by a McDonald's restaurant employee. Tisch said also authorities said Mangione was raised in Maryland, went to college in Pennsylvania, and had his last known address in Hawaii. Now, Mangione was identified by that employee from McDonald's, who told police that she saw him around 9:15 on Monday in the morning in the fast food restaurant in Altoona. Now, while at McDonald's, Mangione was, quote, acting suspiciously and carrying multiple fraudulent IDs as well as a U.S. passport, according to Tisch. He also showed the police the same fake New Jersey ID the gunman was believed to have presented to an employee of a hostel in the Upper West Side of New York in Manhattan on November 24th. In addition to the fake ID cards, Mangione also had a gun in the silencer similar to the ones authorities identified and believed the killer used in New York. Tisch also said the police believed that the suspected ghost gun was assembled using the 3D printer. Clothes, including a mask consistent with the one seen in images released by police, also were recovered by police, as Tisch said. Now, for those who want to claim, well, normally this is behavior of a thug. Well, details have begun to emerge about Mangione painting the picture of a technologically savvy, academically accomplished young man with a grudge against the healthcare industry, although the reasons are unclear. Mangione's LinkedIn profile describes him as a data engineer for California-based TrueCar. That's an online automobile marketplace. And the profile said that he earned a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in engineering, computer science as well from the University of Pennsylvania, which, for those who don't know, that's an Ivy League school. Now, before that, the profile says that Mangione was the valedictorian of his graduating class at the Gilman School in Baltimore, a prestigious private institution. Now, authorities said that Mangione had ill will, quote, ill will toward corporate America, close quote. And CNN reported that the writings found with him criticized the healthcare industry. Now, Kinney of the New York Police said that all indications are Mangione was working by himself. Well, prayers to those who were affected by the killing. Definitely the family of Brian Thompson and those who probably were friends of and loved Mr. Thompson. We hope that you find some solace in this latest amount of news that the person who, well, has been accused of killing your beloved Brian is in the beginnings of being brought to justice. And that concludes today's cover story. Now, what it doesn't conclude is a wonderful show by a beautiful human being. Join my man, Chef Jeff, as he can take any dish that you ask him to prepare, and he can break it down in such simple fashion that even you or I could cook it. Yes, join this culinary arts specialist in this dope cooking show. It comes to you live every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on Roku TV via BS3, the Disco Dope Cooking Show, and BS3 Network YouTube channels. That is This Dope Cooking Show with Chef Jeff, live every Tuesday. The award-winning This Dope Cooking Show at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on Tuesday. Also, you can catch it on Roku TV. Just hit the BS3 logo on Roku TV app, BS3TVLive.com, the This Dope Cooking Show YouTube channel, and the BS3 Network YouTube channel. Coming up next, gloating. Of all things to talk about, yes, we're actually going to dispense on gloating and how it's not supposed to be this way in the eyes of God. You're watching BS3 Presents the Morning Shift for Cole Johnson on Roku TV via BS3, BS3TVLive.com, and the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel. You are listening to it live right now on Real Ice Radio. And we will return right after this.
This is a BS3 Network presentation. Adrian Shawan.
There was a man talking about where the homebodies at? Where the women at? And the women was stitching it. It was like, we at home.
Scotty Knox.
Another pet peeve of mine, right? First date, if you show up with the ponytail that come out at the top of your head, it will not be a second date.
Butler.
I want people to think independently and freely. She's not. $100 for lunch. I almost got up and walked off.
A show that asks only one question. Is it Wednesday yet? Live every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central.
See everybody talking like they doing what we doing, but these brothers is rare and they ain't moving like we moving, and everywhere we go.
Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central on the Sertoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where my soldiers? Left side.
Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 Network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all.
The Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central. This is a BS3 Network presentation.
It's Queen 3 and King. It's Queen 3 and King. It's Queen 3 and King. On BS3 Network. Queen 3 and King. BS3 Network. Queen 3 and King.
Welcome back to BS3 Presents the Morning Shift for Cole Johnson. I'm glad that you are here with yours truly. Now, let's get down to business, shall we? So, we see it all the time. We see it in politics, for sure. We see it in sporting events. I mean, we We just come off of the regular season in college football where you've had teams that have won, visiting teams that have won on their rivals' home stadium, and they're planting the flag on midfield to the derision of those who are, quote, defending, close quote, home field. Well, what does God think about that? That's an interesting concept. You wouldn't think that God would have something to say about gloating or learning how to be a good winner. He does. He's lighting the way. Father God, in the name of Jesus, thank you so much for having this wonderful platform. But more importantly, thank you for being a God that cares about every little thing in all of our lives. Thank you for being so big that you can take care of the macro things in life, and that you're so small that you can take care of the micro stuff. That nothing is too big and nothing is too small for you. Thank you for being that type of God, omnipresent and omniscient. In this lesson that you want me to impart today upon the shifters, sir, remind me to be humble in, I guess you could say, a message that speaks about humility. May what I say not be of me, Lord. Divorce my emotions, my ego, and my thought process from this equation. Let me be a lighthouse of your word and not an interpreter of it. None of me and all of you is what I want represented in this upcoming message. I mean, the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be always acceptable in your sight, Lord. You're my rock, my strength, and my redeemer. In Jesus' name, amen. So here we are, we're now in the month of December, and we've come off of the time where we are giving thanks to so many people, right? And so many things in life. Thanksgiving is basically the day where we give thanks to everything that is taking place in life, right? So I was watching college football, and I was seeing Florida plant I guess you could say a guide on, but the flag of their school on the field of Florida State at Doak Campbell Stadium, Tallahassee. I saw Arizona State wanted to plant a trident in the middle in Tucson of Arizona Stadium. I saw in Columbus, Michigan, wanting to plant their flag in midfield at the Horseshoe. In all the schools, Florida State, Arizona, and Ohio State, took complete umbrage to the ceremony, the gloating ceremony. Now, from a sports standpoint, yes, to the victor always goes the spoils. However, there is protocol in how we're supposed to accept victory. So I said, you know what, Lord, I'm feeling compelled to talk about this. So how should I approach this to my crew, to my shifters? How should I talk about this? And God said, here you go, son. Just go to Solomon. I was like, all right, I will. And so the following is from Proverbs chapter 24, verses 17 and 18. It says, do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and do not let your heart be troubled. Be glad when he stumbles, lest the Lord see it and be displeased and turn away his anger from him. Again, from Proverbs chapter 24, verses 17 and 18. Do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and let not your heart be glad when he stumbles, lest the Lord see it and be displeased and turn away his anger from him. Again, that is from Proverbs chapter 24, verses 17 any team. So you might be asking these questions. Why do we gloat? Well, we gloat because, well, when you get happy about something, you want to show the uncensored way of feeling as though you conquered a thing. We all have done it. We all have won games, and we're like, ha, 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 I told you I was going to win it. I told you I'm a bad man or I'm a bad woman. You ain't nothing. We've done this because we've all had to learn the lesson of proper winning and gracious winning and proper losing and gracious losing. We all have had to learn this lesson. And so here's God saying, no. You shouldn't gloat. That's not how that's not how you're supposed to celebrate a win, because guaranteed, as big as you feel now, I can make you feel just as small. And that's how God operates. Just as big as you feel now, I can make you feel just as small and make you feel that way with the same thing, the same way. Like you may have won a Monopoly game one week and you may be bankrupt the next when you play the game again. I mean, that's just how God operates. He wants you to be even keeled. He wants you to not be so high when you win and not be so low when you lose. So what is wrong in gloating and boasting at someone else's expense? Well, it goes against and it flies against what we're supposed to feel, which is empathy towards someone else. I remember seeing a play, actually. I think this was recently, like about a month or so ago. It was a high school game. I forgot what state. And it came down to a final play where the quarterback was rushed and he got blasted, but he threw a beautiful dime for a touchdown, like from 15 yards away. And that was the deciding score. Well, there was utter chaos that just took place all over the field. But the quarterback, seeing the dejected opponent that he just scored the touchdown against, lift up one of his opponents after another and saying, "Good game. You played your heart out." That is how the Lord wants us to be when it comes to winning. He wants us to see the party that didn't win and say, "You did your best. You know what? Look, it could have been me. It could have been me. That's how good your effort was." That's how he wants us to be. So how do we avoid gloating in general? Well, we avoid gloating in general by, like I said earlier, you have to tap into your empathy center. You have to see how it feels to be kicked in the teeth in a loss. And not just empathy. Not just empathy. We also can do it with experience. We all can do it with experience. I mean, there was a time I remember when I think I was 10, and my father put a whooping on me, and I think it was Monopoly. He put a whooping on me that was so bad, and I was in a huff, and I pouted, and my father, in a joking manner, was gloating. But then he saw I learned a lesson here, and he stopped the gloating. And he said, "No, you got to be a gracious loser as well as a gracious winner." And to prove that he wasn't all talk, the next time we played and I won, he showed me. And he was a gracious loser. So we can avoid gloating in general by basically not seeing what we got a chance to witness on college fields, which were basically hockey fights on the football field with whole teams battling out with each other, because that's not what we're supposed to do. So what should we do when our enemy falls? You know, what should we do when our enemy does fall? Of all places, I remember a speech that, and this was a long time ago, that Minister Louis Farrakhan spoke. And he said, quote, "When you see your enemy down, when you see your enemy defeated, when you see your enemy dejected, don't laugh, learn. Because you never know, you could be in that same position instead of being high and mighty. Understand where that person has been and learn from their defeat and learn from your victory so you can do it again and you can learn how to be a gracious victor too." Close quote. So understand that we have to empathize with those we defeat, because it could be our turn at any moment in time. At any juncture, it could be our moment. So, and there's times that we can gloat right then and there. And we've seen it in many instances. Track and field is a wonderful example. We have seen those who thought, well, the race is already won, but the race is still continuing. And they slow up. They slow up getting to the tape. And then you see someone feverishly coming from behind, zoom right by them, and a photo finish. They pass the tape first. They pass the finish line first. It pays to gloat. And I don't mean it in the good way. I mean in a bad way. It pays to gloat. You can learn a lot of lessons in gloating. The biggest of which is we should never do it. And God wants us to understand that we should always be empathy centered, empathy centric, empathy focused. We should be gracious in winning and gracious in defeat. Well, that's all the time I have. Thank you so much, Shifter, for joining me. I really do appreciate it and you. For all of us here at the BS3 Network, for Coleman Media Incorporated, and for the Morning Shift, I am Cole Johnson, here to say in parting, as we always do, if you lack commitment, you'll never start. If you lack consistency, you'll never finish. And if you lack love, I guarantee you, Shifter, you most certainly will never, ever, ever conquer. Now go out to the world, preach the gospel to the ends of the earth, because you are a blessing. And how do I know this? It's because you've been a blessing to me. And I hope I, in turn, can be a blessing to you. So lead with love and always go in love. I love you, Shifter. I love you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see each other again tomorrow. So long.